Today's episode, I'm going to be talking and I will be stating the obvious. Reason be that there are some things we parents we don't even know that it is important in parenting. But some of us we just shy away from it because we feel that it is too heavy for us to open our mouth to that. So how are we going to start it? What will lead to such discussion? Sometimes we feel that, oh, because of our religion, it is not wise for us to start raising such topic. And won't the children start thinking about it by the time you raise such topic? My dear, if you don't say it, other people will teach them. And by before you know what, you start having issues. And can I tell you the topic? When last did you raise sex education? When last did you teach your children sex education or talk about sex education? This one is not only to the mummies, so this one include we the daddies, our papas. When last did you sit your boy child to tell him about sex education? It is only mummies that should do that. No. And sometimes we are just too shy. How are we going to sit down to talk about this topic now? Okay, should we now say when last have you heard of sex education? Or we are just too shy about the whole thing. But don't worry, I've got you covered. Reason be that since I am talking about parenting, I should give you guidelines on how to raise sex education talk with your children, especially your teenagers, the matured ones, and even the young ones that are also entering puberty. Because by the time you start telling them everything about sex education, they will not be victims of our pedophiles. Nobody will lure them with just 20 naira ice cream or 1,000 naira recharge card and have their way with them. Sometimes we don't reason about that one. We just feel that, oh, if we not tell them now, how are they going to behave? Will they not be thinking about it, or what will not happen? Let me tell you something that you don't know. You see, this sex education, as far your child has gadgets, as far your child is going to school, as far your child has friends, they've already known about it. As far your child reads novel, romantic novel, they've known about it. But all they just need from you is you just raise the topic up, and that is where I got you covered. So in a family meeting, after everything you've eaten and you guys are gisting, what do you even talk about? You just talk about random thing and you've not actually thought about raising sex education top. So the first thing you should ask is, hey, I was just reading a novel or I was watching something and I found out the parents was asking the child about sex education. So you, what do you know about sex? And see the child become either excited to talk about it or become shy to talk about it. With this, you are knowing your children. Yes, you are actually knowing them. So what you need to do is this: you watch their reaction, their body language, then let them start telling you what they know about sex education. And before you throw these words to them, make sure you too you have done your findings, do research, how to talk about teenagers on sex. Then by then you now start talking. Tell them the do's, the don'ts. You see, don't tell them this lie that the sex is not good oh. See, that is where we parents will miss it. Start telling your teenagers that if you have sex, you will get pregnant. My dear, that is old school. They've already know the in and out, they know the do's and the don'ts. So you should tell them the reason why they should not involve, because they are not matured enough to hold the responsibility or the consequences that come with such act. If you are telling them that no, it is not oh, you can't do it oh, it is a taboo, my dear, forget, they've read it. The world is vast now. There are ways they get information. So they've already know it. So don't preach that gospel for them. It is not, except the little ones. Because if you are talking about the adolescents of this generation, the teenagers, they've already known it. They've googled it. They've know the do's. They've know the don'ts. They even know what to do not to even get pregnant. So why are you not telling them that if you do it, you will get pregnant? They even know where to go to help you remove it if they want to. This is me stating the obvious, not sugarcoating anything. So that is the reason why I'm telling you that if you want to talk to your children about sex education, come out with the plain truth. Tell them the real truth. Oh, sex is not good is not because it is not good. It is because at this stage you cannot hold the consequences that comes with it, and your life might be in a hot if you do it. So that is why we are saying be matured enough. Get to certain stage where you can differentiate between good and bad, where you can talk about it boldly, where you can say, oh, I'm able to handle the consequences that comes with this kind of attitude, then you are good to go. But at this stage, imagine you getting pregnant, imagine you getting infested with sexually transmitted disease. Your life becomes to a halt while your friends, your mates are marching forward. You are busy doing the simple, you are busy managing the errors that should have been avoided. So by the time you tell them this, they already know that you are not telling them not to do it. You're only telling them the do's and the don'ts, the consequences that is attached to it. And please, it is not only your girl child you should tell about sex education. Please include your boys. And that is bringing me to our daddies. In the process of talking with your boy child, do you raise sex education talk with them? This is one thing, especially we African parents, we actually shy away from it. And I don't know why. Because when we were growing up, nobody told us about sex education. And that is one of the reasons why you see during our time, a lot of us fall victims of pregnancy, and that is why you find out that a lot of us are single mothers because nobody to tell you what you need to do, what you don't need to do. But you see this generation, they are different because they have access to such information outside. And if you and the parent, you are not guiding them with that information, they might use that information wrongly, which the consequences will not be upon you and the child. So you see the reason why I'm telling you that if you don't teach them, the street will teach them. And when the street want to teach them, it doesn't teach them the good aspect. Just like, hey, don't do it. It's not good. When you do it at this stage, these are the consequences. No, the street will tell them, test run it, and so that you know the consequences yourself. And how will you feel that your child that you were proud of, just one knockout and that child is pregnant? Because it has not happened does not mean it is not happening. Yes, we have seen a lot of children from a godly home knocking down with pregnancy. And you'll be wondering, were they not taught sex education? The truth is this. No, they were never taught sex education. They were busy doing other things. Read your books, don't follow boys. You are telling your daughter not to follow boys, but you are not telling her the reason why she shouldn't do it. And this is where I also got to cover. This is why you should tell her that you shouldn't, because at this time it's a distraction. You see that thing you are pursuing now, later it will be plenty. So why not leave it now? I'm stating the obvious. This is something we hardly talk about. And that is why most of our children, when they not grab it, when they start doing it, they don't know how to stop. Because at this age they are involved in it, is the stage that parents are supposed to be there to guide them. Tell them the importance of purity. Tell them the importance of not sleeping around. We are not even talking about them. Some of us, before our children finish secondary school, they've been knocked out by more than 5 or 6 men or 6 guys. Because they are not pregnant does not mean that they were never involved. Like I said, they know what to do to prevent pregnancy. If it is pregnancy that is even your own problem. So, as a parent, never shy away from certain thoughts like sex education. It is one core thing in parenting or sex education, because the teenagers of this generation, you will imagine a child of 12 years already sexually active, and you might be saying, oh, is that true? Yes, it is true. You've seen in the neighborhood, you've seen, and the child will freely do it. Some the parents are aware, some the parents are not aware, because you are never there to teach the child about sex education. And above all, some of them that have been exposed to pedophile at a younger age, and the parents are not even aware of it, you find out that it now becomes a lifestyle for them. And finally, there is no how you will parent without adding prayers. Because you can do a good parenting and the child decide to become something else. And that is why, as you are talking, you are backing it up with prayers. And this is why it is important for you to be present in their life. And if you are doing a good parenting, you must always have time to talk to your children, your teenagers. You can't say they are big enough. No, because that mistake, one mistake, could be one thing that will ruin their life. I am Omoye Audu. Stay tuned until we bring you another interesting parenting topic. Please don't forget to share this video to parents that need it, and also subscribe and give me a beautiful thumbs up. Have a beautiful day.